3 a.m., May 2nd, 2026. A 23-year Spirit Airlines dispatcher sends a final cockpit alert to this last Spirit crew in the air. His message ends with 2 words: Godspeed, my friend. By sunrise, almost 17,000 American workers were unemployed, holding a frozen 401k and a 60-day clock. But Spirit isn't the only company they just pulled the rug out from under its workers. Target just cut 1,800 corporate jobs. IBM, the company that invented the modern 401k plan, just killed the match for 100,000 American workers. Same week, same playbook, different uniforms. Your retirement through these companies was never yours. Your job was never yours. And if you don't have control, somebody else does. Now, I've been in financial services now for 26 years, and I've watched thousands of families lose control over their money. And I've watched a few take it back. This channel is where I break down what's exactly happening and what to do about it. Now today, IBM, Target, Spirit Airlines, 3 different companies. And I've got one message for every American watching this. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Who are we? Hey, 7-figure squad. What we go? Run it up, run it up.
In 1945, the founder of IBM gave every IBM worker a pension, $60 to $130 a month for life, starting at 65, based on years of service. Then in 1984, IBM became one of the very first American corporations to introduce a 401k. Now the pitch was clean: tax-deferred savings, portability, employee control, the future of retirement. That's where the lie began. By 1995, IBM had resigned the pension. By 1999, it converted it to a cash balance formula. A woman named Kathy Cooper sued. She won in 2003. She lost on appeal in 2006. In 2008, IBM froze the pension entirely for 117,000 American workers. In 2022, IBM took $16 billion in pension obligations and handed them off to Prudential and MetLife. And 100,000 retirees got moved from federal protection to state insurance systems. They didn't get a vote. And on January 1st, 2024, IBM killed the 401k match entirely. 5% employer match, 1% automatic contribution, both gone. Here's the part that a lot of people don't talk about: that IBM was sitting on a pension surplus of $3.5 to $5 billion. They're paying out $530 million a year in 401k match contributions. They did the math. They killed the match. Today, the surplus they were already sitting on and use it to fund a company-controlled retirement credit instead of a worker-controlled account. The company that invented the modern-day 401k just killed it for 100,000 American workers. They were the first, and they won't be the last. While IBM was quietly redesigning retirement out from under its workforce, the rest of corporate America was running the same play with their own workforce itself. In 2025, American corporations announced 1.2 million job cuts, the worst year since the pandemic. Let me read you the names. Target, 1,800 corporate jobs. Dell, 11,000 jobs, 569 million in severance. Coinbase, 700 workers. Cisco, 4 separate layoff waves. Citigroup, 20,000 jobs being eliminated. Disney, 1,000 jobs. Saks Global, 640 corporate American jobs. The Washington Post, 1/3 of its workforce. Applied Materials, 1,444 jobs. Snap, 1,000 jobs. Now, every single one of these companies sold their workers the same story: loyalty, growth, mission, family. And every single one of these companies has a fiduciary duty, not to you, not to the workers, but to the shareholders. Now, that's the lie. Your company takes care of you, huh? The truth. Your company's job is to maximize shareholder return, period. Your job is a line item that gets adjusted when the math stops working. Now, I learned this early. I came out of the Marine Corps and I had a choice. I can work for somebody else for 20 or 30, 40 years and hit their retirement guidelines at a corporate desk, or build something that I controlled, or build something that I owned. So I made the call. I'm not going to spend 20 or 30, 40 years building somebody else's empire. That's the call every American watching this video right now has to make. Not someday, now. What are you solving for? Ask yourself that question, because let me show you what the data actually says. Vanguard's 2025 report on American savings and retirement says this: the typical American worker between 55 and 64, 5 to 10 years from retirement, has a median 401k balance of $95,642. Yes, $95,000. That's it. At 4% safe withdrawal rate, that's only $3,826 a year. $380 a month before taxes, before healthcare, before inflation eats it alive. And it gets worse the younger you go. For example, 45 to 54, median savings in 401k, $75,000. 35 to 44 year ages, around $50,000. 25 to 34 year old, around just $22,000. And if you're in your 30s thinking, I got time, you have less time than you really think. If you're in your 50s thinking, well, I'll catch up, the math says you won't. Not without changing the strategy. This is what retirement crisis looks like, and we're deep in it. It's not somebody else's problem, it's yours. Now, if you're watching this, you don't have somebody in your corner who actually understands how retirement structure actually works, not your HR rep, not your robo-advisor, not your buddy who works at a bank, an actual human being who has seen what happens when corporations change the rules. Drop the word plan in the comment section below, and my team reads every single one of these comments. Now, the framework I teach is called LASER. L stands for liquidity, S stands for safety, R stands for rate of return, T stands for tax advantages, as in tax-free advantages. And so today, let's talk about liquidity. The first one, most Americans have been told that locked up retirement money is the same thing as security. Hello, it isn't. It's structured with golden and economic and government handcuffs on it. The Spirit Airlines worker had 401ks. ERISA protected the balances, the company, the IRS. That's the good news. The bad news, the moment the company shut down 3 a.m., those workers had a frozen account, a 60-day rollover window, taxes if they touched it wrong, and no liquidity for groceries, for rent, or COBRA. Here's the principle. If you can't access it within 30 days without a tax hit or early withdrawal penalty, it's not your money yet. It's a promise on a piece of paper. And one thing nobody's telling you, a Yale Law Journal analysis found that in 2022 alone, the 909 largest 401k plans in America clawed back $1.54 billion in uninvested employer matches from 1.87 million workers who left before hitting their vesting cliff. Median American job tenure is 3.5 years. Most vesting cliffs are set to 3 to 4 years to get that company match. See, that's not a coincidence. That's the design. Yep, that was me. That was 2 weeks ago sitting at the airport. The reel was a joke. The call volume after I posted it and the DMs I got, that wasn't. Because that 23 dispatcher who sent the final cockpit alert, his name was Wes Egan. And he was one of almost 6,000 Americans who woke up that morning with no job in a frozen 401k. And here's where it gets political on both sides. In 2024, Spirit had a lifeline. JetBlue offered to buy them. The merge would have saved the airline, would have saved the jobs. But the Biden administration, Department of Justice, pushed by Senator Elizabeth Warren and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, blocked the merger, which the merger then died. Then in 2026, Spirit went under. The Trump administration proposed a $500 million rescue and bailout, and senior creditors rejected it, and that deal fell apart. So 2 administrations, 2 political parties, 2 chances to save 17,000 American jobs, and both failed those workers. And here's the part that should make every American watching this furious. The CEO of Spirit Airlines pulled down $22 million in 2025. In his final year, salary, signing bonus, retention awards, equity grants. The pilot though, the flight attendant, and the CEO all worked at the same company, and yet 2 of them walked away with nothing. If you're a man with a family, and the only thing standing between your wife and a financial freefall is just one paycheck from one company, you don't have an income problem, you've got a control problem. If you watch what happened to Spirit's employees and thought, that could be me, you're right. If you've ever wondered if there's a way to build something on the side, a real business, not a hustle, drop their movement in the comment section below. We help people figure out if this is the right path for them in terms of entrepreneurship and starting a side business to meet and exceed their full-time job on a part-time basis. Watch the video, the link below. I promise you, no pitch, no pressure, just a potential answer to the question you're already asking yourself. Bottom line, your retirement, your 401k plan was never fully yours. Your job was never fully yours. The pension died, the match died, the airline sadly died, and the company that just pioneered them all just walked away. The typical American 5 years from retirement has just $318 a month to live on. And God didn't put you on this earth to be a line item on somebody else's spreadsheet. He didn't design you for dependence on a corporation, a boss, or a benefit package. By the way, check out this video here that God gave you dominion. He designed you for stewardship of your time, of your income, of your family's future. You can't steward what you don't control. You can't protect what you don't own. You can't pass down a legacy you spent 40 years building for somebody else's empire. Take it back while you still got time. Now, if you got value from this, please hit like. If you haven't done so already yet, subscribe, hit notification, be alerted next time we upload our next episode. And please drop your biggest takeaways in the comment section below. Our team, myself, read every single one of them. I appreciate you tuning in. Tune in for next Tuesday here for another reaction video, what's going on in America today and how it can affect your income in a more positive way. That being said, from Dallas, Texas, I'm your Money Smart guy. Until we meet again, continue to live smart, continue to love smart, and be money smart today.